Welcome back. Another episode of the Wisco Wistys. Took some time off, but we are back and better than ever. We have a bonus episode that's going to come out with this episode. Um, should be a fun one. I've got a nice little guinea to commence our St. Patrick's Day episode. Cole, where are you?
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh
President,
my God.
how are we doing today?
Is that true that he's thinking of him as his VP candidate?
Literally, this is a joke, everyone, so calm down. You like my official button, first of all, but I guess it's not a joke from the sense that he's reached out. I haven't heard. I think it's either going to be like and we're talking about Aaron being a potential vice president candidate with the RFK no party ballot, whatever, fucking nuts in 2024. But I guess it's either way true or way outlandishly false. That would be my guess.
Well, I mean, he's still how he
I
hasn't
don't.
decommitted to football. You can't be vice president and play football.
Well, that's funny is I read the article Florio put out there, and he's like, I haven't heard anything of saying this wouldn't be, but Aaron Rodgers' last comments before leaving the Jets was, we need to get all the bullshit out of the building and focus on football. He's like, so I'm not sure how being vice president
Yeah,
would deal with that mix. And I thought that was hilarious.
right.
And
Something's
I'm
not adding up.
quick political, non-political question here. Would Aaron Rodgers on a ballot be like second or first potentially to Donald Trump on a ballot of who the fuck would have seen that coming?
Um, I think Trump probably like
Is first, right?
walked so anyone else will be able to run. Well, I mean, Ronald Reagan was a movie star, so that was probably equivalent to like Trump because he was on TV and stuff.
But Trump's
So
got a
it's happened
business
before.
background, but like Aaron Rodgers,
Well,
a
I mean,
football
Reagan
player,
Reagan was an actor.
but
That's
wasn't
a
he a
celebrity.
governor or a senator or some shit before?
I don't know which came first. I have no idea.
I think he was. That's what's crazy to me. I think it's nuts. Who the fuck would vote for that? I don't know. This isn't a politics podcast, but I just had to make a little fun of that.
Yeah,
Welcome
that's funny.
back, Mason.
Thank you. Welcome to you as well. It was nice. It was nice to just relax and not have to edit a pod. But if you guys haven't seen already, check out the Newlywed pod that will be out with this one as well. It's a fun time. You get to meet Cole and my girlfriends, and of course Alexa's there as our mediator. We won't spoil who wins, but it's a pretty fun one. So you'll just have to watch and see. But today we're kind of in a weird spot in sports. NBA is just starting to heat up, I would say about now because there's like 20-ish games left before so like teams are starting to make their push into the playoffs. We've got the draft coming up. We've got March Madness in a couple weeks. We've got, you know, it's starting to kind of mix around. So you'll kind of get a little bit of
It's a good,
random everything throughout these
yeah,
next couple weeks from
this is
us at least.
good time to be a multi-sports better. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So
But
we're
we're gonna
gonna
fo
go over football. There's a lot that's going on. Like yesterday was Monday, um, the start of tampering, right?
Yeah, so free agency technically opens Wednesday at noon, but tampering period opens at noon on Monday, yesterday,
And a
the
lot happened.
11th.
So that's basically what we're gonna talk about today. So let's just dive right in, baby.
You want to start with free agency first?
No, we can do combine. That's fine.
Okay. So combine happened, what, a week or two ago? We're just gonna wrap that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, just some notes. Obviously, Xavier Worthy, Texas wideout. He's like a buck 65, 5'10", fastest 40 ever. That was kind of cool to see. I watched
Yeah.
that live. It was
That's
pretty cool.
flying.
That's just got Chiefs written all over it, I
He's
think. But
little, but
I,
he can fucking fly.
yeah,
Sometimes it doesn't matter when if you're fast, how big you are.
all right. I thought there was a lot of great wideouts in general that just worked out. Adonai Mitchell, come to the squad. Packers want you. Packers need you. Oh, there goes my button. Campaign's
Yeah, we'll
over
see. That's
already.
probably how last the his campaign will last. How long his
um,
campaign will last.
there's a ton though. Like Rome Odunze looked good. Neighbors looked good. Harrison didn't even work out. And that's where the conversation really is starting and pretty much ending with combine talk. A lot of people didn't work out, which isn't new, so to speak. Most of them will like choose, top guys will work out at their pro day or whatever. Um,
Sure.
More news stuff though was not doing interviews. Marvin Harrison didn't do interviews. Neither did Caleb Williams, with teams individually. And
Yeah.
then Caleb didn't even give medical exams to teams. So that's a whole new thing. So I guess, do you want to discuss that whole situation? If it's a situation, what your thoughts are, what your things are about players, combine, interviewing, exams, the whole ordeal. And I can
Sure.
play devil's advocate on any side because I don't
I
really have an
I don't
opinion.
really have a side either. I guess it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you even go to combine if you're not going to do the workouts and the tests and stuff? It just doesn't make sense to me. You can
I
have your
will
own, you can have
agree
your
with
media
that.
day or your pro day or whatever, like with your school or whatever, if he even is going to do that and whatever. But then why even go? Like, I
I
think bussing with the boys were like, you basically went for the free gear, So like it doesn't make
yeah,
sense to me. I don't know why if there's a legitimate reason, I'm all ears, but I don't know.
I haven't heard a reason why he went. It does make sense to me because he did like the media interview, at the podium thing, and all he gets questions about is why aren't you meeting with the teams? So like, why
Right.
are you even doing that? And he
Right.
met with like Chris Sims and all of them and like all these different people to talk, but he didn't meet with teams.
Right.
So, and then if you're not working out, he was on the field during the workouts and stayed till the end of the workouts
Yeah.
and did like all these other NFL Network interviews and whatever. But I don't get that. I am not really against him not doing the medical and not doing the workouts and the interviewing. I don't like, people call that arrogant. People call that burning bridges. I don't really think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I get both sides, but like,
Yeah, I mean, it is arrogant, like, but
is it
it's
though?
true at the same point. It's like, well, he is going to be picked
It
top
rides the
10
line. Yeah. It's
even
the
if he falls.
it's
I
the
mean,
Deion Sanders story.
Aaron fell to 20 or whatever, but I don't think Caleb will. If he does,
Well,
it'll be if
the
he's not picked
difference in
one, it'll be
that
two or whatever.
The
So,
difference in that was Aaron was could go one or Alex Smith. We
right.
think he should go one. Could go one. This is Caleb Williams is one. It's like
Yeah.
unanimous. It's Andrew Luck. It's Trevor Lawrence. It's
Unless you ask
there's
random guys who are just trying to get clickbait and shit, saying that
correct, but
Drake May's better or something.
yeah, so it's he's going one. So it's the whole Deion Sanders, what pick are you? I'm not going to be there, so I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah.
And I get that. And the medical, people will ask about the medical eval, and I was kind of confused about that too. But I heard a story. Chris Sims told a story about his dad. He did medical exams for the combine, and he got perfect reviews or whatever through all the teams except one. The Jets doctor found an issue with his scapula. Like this looks a little off. So he said, and I quote, from there on out, every year the Giants checked in on Phil Simms' scapula. When he was a free agent, teams would go, is your scapula okay? We need to do some x-rays
Oh my
to
God.
look at that because one doctor from one team put it in and then it's like in the record,
That's
right?
ridiculous. So
So
he just
am
doesn't,
I
you're avoiding like all that
it's
bullshit.
like used against you, right?
Right.
So I guess if you have nothing to hide, but like you could also not have anything to hide and it gets pushed onto you. But at the same time, there's also the thought of well, why not do those interviews? Because you might, potentially be working with those people down the road. Aaron's not
Right.
a Packer anymore. Like, he could have interviewed with some of those guys, or maybe because he didn't, they're probably like, I don't want that guy as my quarterback. If he doesn't work out in Chicago looking for another spot, no, he wouldn't even talk to us. He's just an
Right.
arrogant prick. So, like, I get that side of it too.
Yeah. I I mean, I really don't feel one way or another. I think he can't it comes off as cocky, but we've talked about this before. Like when you get to that level, people are going to be cocky. It's just kind of the way it is. Some guys aren't, and those guys are really cool. But most guys are. So I guess whatever.
Yeah, I don't I just think it's being held against him or used against him too much. That's all
Hmm.
I'll say. I think people are looking for holes, people are looking for reasons to hate him and
Yeah,
call him arrogant and cocky. Like,
yeah.
I know a Bears fan, his last name ends in Rodriguez. He's like, he's a douchebag. I fucking hate that clown. And I was like, okay, why?
Well, he's going to
And
be
he
on your
gave
team,
his
buddy.
right, but he hates him, and I'm like, why? Well, the fingernails, the crying in the crowd.
He's got
He
fingernails.
he paints his fingernails.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
was. I thought you were saying like they're really long or really nubby or
I don't
like he
I
bites them
don't
or something. I didn't know
no
he
no.
painted his fingernails.
Yeah, he does it because I looked into that because I thought it was kind of weird because he put some like I think he put like
Is it like a
F
tactic?
you
Oh, because I know like
whatever team.
pitcher or catchers in baseball, they do it so you can see the signs from the
No,
mound a
I
little
think
easier. Like they like
I
do it
I
certain colors so they can actually see
rem-
the fingers.
I guess his mom used to paint his fingernails when he was a kid,
He's a
and that was
mama's
been their
boy.
like
I did see him
bonding
crying in
time.
his mom's arms once.
Correct. So I don't know. People are hating on him real hard, and I'm not sure why. I It's just interesting to me when
Yeah,
other
I mean
players have done
we'll
it.
see. I I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of um footage of him. I've
It's
seen some
fucking
highlights here
amazing.
and there. I
It's
watched
fucking
one game,
amazing.
I think, at a bachelor party on a bachelor party weekend, and he like fumbled the snap and then just chucked it like 70 yards for a touchdown. I was like, okay, that's what Cole was talking about. So
It's fucking
yeah,
amazing.
he looks like the real deal for sure. But
Yes. His
mm,
favorite player is
it's our
who?
guy, so I don't really care. Hey, Aaron.
Who do you model his game after?
Hey, Aaron.
Who does he aspire to be?
Tom Brady.
Okay.
He did say like Tom Brady is,
The accomplished goat, but he's like, my
yeah.
goat is
But they
Aaron.
also asked like if you could build your, ultimate quarterback, it'd be like Aaron's arm, Tom's head, Tom's this, Tom's that. So Tom like made up the most of it, but it was Aaron's arm for
Because he
the talent part.
recognizes, yeah,
Well, yeah, because
it's just an
he's not
interesting
blind
discussion.
like most
The
people
other
are.
thing that people are coming after him for is they think he's trying to sway where he wants to get picked. And that's what like Boston with the Boys brought up, that claim that he
Yeah,
said he wants a percentage of the team he's being picked by,
I did hear
which
that,
is
but that was a
false.
long time ago. That was like
It's
months ago.
false. Yeah, and he's like not open to certain teams playing when he said he's open to play for Chicago. Do you think players should be able to have a not I guess I don't know how you want to say it, influence or be able to decide, quote unquote, where they should play?
No, because then what's the point? Y- All the small market teams are never going to get players.
Correct. I
You
agree. I
know,
think they shouldn't. People
what's the point
shouldn't.
of a draft if everyone wants to go to New
it,
York,
it'd be like a free agency then. I don't
Miami,
think they
or
should get to
LA?
that point. But
Yeah.
I don't mind the idea of players pushing back
Like you
on
got
it
to
to a
sell me
point.
on you as well. It's like
Correct.
finding the
Because
right
like
fit for a job.
you, if I work for some butt fuck company, like that could derail my entire trajectory, right?
Hmm.
Or I go to a bad school that I don't learn everything, and then like I can't even properly perform my job that I just got because that school didn't prepare me. It screws my trajectory and like what's around me and management and whatever. So like
Right.
they're just as part of it as you are. So I don't mind that. I don't know how you would go about that. Like Eli Manning, I'm not playing for the Chargers. Blah. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. But I think it's definitely an interesting conversation because some people would say, like Dad would probably say, you should be thankful we're
Right. Like
picking you.
a lot of these guys are really emotional when they get picked and they're like, this is just getting into the NFL is the
It's a
goal.
dream.
It shouldn't matter where you go because no matter what, you're a professional football player. There's 32 teams. You know, that's it's crazy to even be on a team. And to get
It is.
drafted doesn't necessarily guarantee a spot, but if you're like an early pick, like that almost is
It's
guaranteeing a
four
spot.
years, right? Yeah, like guaranteed.
So, I mean, it's just pretty cool. And not, like we said, not a lot of people get the chance to do that. So I feel like most people don't care and that it should stay like that. You know, it's just, I don't care if it's the fucking Commanders or the Chiefs. I'm just happy to be in the league. And that's the whole point of that's what makes it cool is because you could just be drafted to a contender and you might be someone that actually helps contribute to them contending the next year or something. That's what makes
Yeah,
it cool.
I think there's too much like ego and competitor in these guys, like Joe
Yeah.
Burrow to Cincinnati. Like, I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. I'm gonna make
If
this
you're
team
if
good,
you're good
right?
enough, like look at Stroud. He Texans were last to
Correct. He's
playoff
like
win. It's like it
mine
doesn't
now.
matter. If you're good
Yeah.
enough, you're gonna turn that place right around unless you're Carolina, which is that's just a fucking
Well,
dumpster fire.
that's the point though, right? Like if you
But I
look at it,
mean,
you're like, do you want to go there? No, I don't want to go with an owner that throws water on his own fucking
yeah,
fans.
that's
Like, what are we
that's what
talking
sucks.
about?
But then that's when the commissioner needs to step in and do something.
That
He's
clown? I don't
gotta
think so.
he's gotta have some balls and be like, you gotta we gotta fix this. There has to be like
Yeah.
a remediation of some sort for owners or something like that. I don't know.
I agree. It's a bigger conversation, but it's just interesting that came
Just
up
because
from
you
the
have money
combine.
doesn't mean you should be an owner of a football team.
That's very true. That it's very, very true. Like the Washington guys, they brought in
Yeah.
Bob Myers, the basketball guy, and they're like, why the fuck
Yeah.
would you bring a basketball guy from the Warriors in to help run an NFL team? What the fuck
And
does he know?
I kind of like Mark, who's the Mavericks guy.
Cuban?
Mark Cuban. I
Cuban.
kind of like him. He's a good personality, but what the hell does he know about basketball? I mean, if it wasn't for Dirk, he would never have won a championship. You know, it's like,
No.
and it wasn't really him that did all that stuff.
No.
It's just rich guys that have a liking for the game, and they're like, well, I really want. I mean, you can make money if you market it well, but they have to hire guys that know the sport and know what to do, or else they're never gonna
Yeah.
do
And
anything,
in
you know?
and in theory, there's probably like 20 teams in the league that are just there to make the money. They're not actually there to compete. They sell you
Right,
the idea
right.
they're there to compete, but
You just
the
sell
Cardinals
tickets,
aren't out
sell
there like,
merch.
God, we're going to the
Yeah.
championship every year. They're like, let's fucking go positive revenue every
Sell
year.
tickets,
And
sell merch. If they win, I mean, there's incentive to win because the more you win, the more merch people are going to want
correct.
to buy and the more
But you can still
tickets you're
make
going to want
money
to.
either way.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that's why just get to the playoffs is a huge goal because it's one more game. It's one more game, you know, so
Hmm.
that's kind of it's sucky, but I'm just
It's a
happy that
business.
we don't live in a town that has a team that's like that.
So
Higher standards here.
I think that transitions into, since it's a business, let's talk about the free agency
A lot of business
nonsense.
moves made. Some
Yeah.
good, some head scratchers.
So we're just gonna talk about a couple. If there's some that you don't want to, don't have to. If you want to just chat or quick thoughts or good, bad, whatever. I think the biggest one obviously is Kirk Cousins. Kirk the Cousins to
To
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
That's massive. I mean,
35-year-old just tore the shit out of his Achilles and he got paid.
you're
I
getting
think they're
45 a
grasping at
year.
straws. It's a big enough market. He's not the answer. I mean, we've witnessed that for how long? He's not the answer. But I don't know.
I think Atlanta wise, I think it's a great move because they've been so shitty at quarterback.
Right.
They need something.
You
And
would
that's a
think
way to
like
sell
him
your
being
fan
able to
base.
pass the ball at least a little bit, like he's decent. He played really
No,
well before he got hurt last year.
he's a
And
top 15 quarterback.
yeah, and
Like
he like when they were good, when Minnesota was good, like with Stephon Diggs, when they beat the Saints in the Minnesota Miracle or whatever it's called, they made some playoff runs. Um, he can bring them to the next level. Maybe Bijan gets the ball a little more. They learn how to use him. Kyle Pitts gets more involved. He scores a fucking touchdown
Drake
finally.
London.
Yeah,
They got guys.
they could. I don't know. I don't know if their defense is very good, but I mean,
It's
it's a
decent.
step in the right direction. So I understand the move. I just don't know if that was. I
It's
mean, I don't know if
it's a
that's your best
desperation
option at this
move.
point, but yeah,
It's a
it's better than
desperation
nothing, I
move.
guess.
Yeah, because Raheem
Because
Morris, their coach, used
Ritter
to
or whatever the fuck his name was
he
is
sucks.
not the answer.
Well,
Yeah,
he Morris came in and said like we need to improve quarterback. We need to improve quarterback. And he was a coach for Tampa Bay. Do you remember this name? His quarterback was Josh Freeman. Think about that.
it kind of rings a bell, but that's not
Big
impressive.
dude, he sucked, and he probably
Yeah,
realized if I don't have a quarterback, I'm fucked, and that's why he got fired. So he's like, I need a quarterback immediately.
yeah,
So it just makes sense.
yeah. All right. So
We need to discuss the Viking side of things then with Kirk. Are we happy Kirk's gone? Honestly,
not really. I
I
loved
I
knowing
know
that
I
we
lo
had a win as long as it wasn't at noon on Sunday.
Kurt. I mean he wasn't like bad. He wasn't
uh,
great. Like it was always like, it's like golf. I'm not scared of it.
no, it's just
They could
it was
draft
nice knowing that they're locked into an average quarterback.
Correct. They could draft a stud now, and I'm kind of like,
Like
oh
shit. I mean, they
God,
got
yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Yes, they picked up Sam Darnold, so I'm totally okay if that's what they're riding with. I'm waiting
Yeah, I'm
for,
guessing they'll probably pick somebody and then either Sam like mentors him or Sam starts until they boo him off the field and then this new guy starts.
or they ride with Sam Darnold. The Jets go, Aaron Rodgers, we can't deal with you anymore. Aaron
Oh,
completes
fuck me.
the full circle, goes to the fucking Vikings. TJ Hawkinson, Justin
Please no.
Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison goes, we're doing it.
Do you think that's like a long-term, like big picture? Like, well, we'll leave the door open. We got Aaron Jones. We know he
Uh,
loves Aaron Jones.
I
How do you
don't
say
know,
no
but
to
if
JJ? Their
well,
defense
that's the
is always
question. If
decent.
Justin needs a new contract soon, or if you're him, are you signing that until you hear who the hell your quarterback is?
They have to give me concrete evidence. Show me the text from Aaron Rodgers saying, "Dude, if this doesn't work out here, I'm all yours." If RFK doesn't win the ballot and
I'll be
and
there
and,
in
and we can't get to the
25.
playoffs in New York, I am so coming to Minnesota. Otherwise, no, I am not signing a fucking contract. If I'm JJ, I'm
Right?
getting the hell out of there.
I don't think this is gonna happen, but I'm just saying if he doesn't want to play there, doesn't want to sign a contract, don't be surprised if he gets thrown for trade bait for them to move up to
Yeah.
like two or something.
Yeah,
Because
he's
like
good, but you're hitting the restart button because I mean
literally.
you need a guy to throw to him. So it's a waste of money and it doesn't
Well,
make
let's be
any
real.
sense if you don't have anyone to throw it to him.
He could still get his stats, but they're not going to compete. So like, what do
Right.
you want to just pay a wide receiver a shit ton of money and be like 6-11 and be like, oh, cool, that was fun. We were competitive.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I
just
don't
that
think
goes back
so.
to our conversation about do you want to win or do you want to, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting move.
Yeah.
Anything else on that one?
No. Bye, Kurt. We'll see you. Maybe we'll I mean, do we play Atlanta very often?
Every 3 years for sure.
Yeah.
And then if we end up in the same spot in the division, we
Maybe
might play them
we'll
in the playoffs.
yeah, maybe we'll see you again. I don't know.
Um, Chris Jones re-signed. Didn't really surprise me.
Yeah, that's smart of the Chiefs. He won. He like I wouldn't say single-handedly, but he was a huge part in a lot of those wins in the playoffs.
Well,
So
that
you got
is
to give
why
him.
I
He's such
think
a fucking beast. You got to give him
I
whatever he
know.
wants.
I think that's why they did that and tag Snead because they draft corners well, seems like,
Yeah,
in secondary.
How old
They're
is
kind of,
Sneed? I feel like he's old.
it's like 27 or
Fuck. Why
28.
does he look like a 34-year-old guy?
I don't know. He looks like shit too, but he's ugly as hell. But Chris Jones changes the game up the middle. There's so many playoff,
Yeah,
every playoff game you can pick at
he's
least
so
one where he's
big.
like
He's massive.
massive player. Yeah.
Not just
Makes a
like
play when it matters.
physically, but also
Yes.
performance wise.
And then Snead asked for a trade. So that'll be interesting to see if they trade him, who they trade him to, what they get, what they
Yeah.
do with that. Because they traded Tyreek and turned it into Trent McDuffie, who's a stud, and all these other
Yeah.
guys. So, like, that's a big deal for the best team in the league. Um, Christian Wilkins signed with Vegas. He's a stud D tackle.
Yeah.
Miami's going
He's
to be losing pieces for sure.
yeah, Miami's starting to bring up
Got to
question
pay
marks.
Tua. Woo!
Yeah. That
Oh,
scares
good.
me if I'm a Dolphin fan. The
God,
Bengals,
Penix.
they're just falling apart. Burrow gets
Yeah.
hurt and all of a sudden everyone's jumping ship.
Well,
T.
we can talk
Higgins
about
wants a
that.
trade. Fucking Joe
Yep.
Mixon went to the Texans.
Houston. So
Yeah.
they were going to cut him, and then the Texans sent a seventh for Joe Mixon, which I thought was nuts, but
Yeah, I feel
sent
like
a
he's worth more than
seventh.
that.
But if you're going to cut him,
You get nothing for him, I guess. You might as well get something.
correct. So like, what's the difference? And they're like, well, we could just get, we'll give you a seventh round pick, which is kind of nice. The Texans also, that was towards the end of the day today. They just signed Danielle Hunter from the Vikings.
Nice.
Um, so the
Texans are
Vikings,
up and up.
they got a lot of money because they got a quarterback on a rookie deal.
Yep,
It was a
that's key.
2 year, I think a 2 year 50 mil, so the 25 year. I think they literally the Texans, one of their edge rushers signed with the Vikings, and the Vikings edge rusher Daniel Hunter signed with the Texans. So they did a little swapsies.
Flip flop. Yeah.
We gotta go Packers though. What do we? So Jones gets cut,
For like
and
3 hours, we thought we had Aaron Jones and
the
Josh
best
Jacobs.
running back duo in the
Holy
league.
shit.
I was like
That
fucking mind blown.
I'm like
Like
one, two. I don't really know. I think Josh Jacobs is kind of tiny though. I mean, Dylan or Jones is short, but he's ripped. But Josh Jacobs, he's short, but he's thick, right?
you are, he's he's 220
Yeah, he's a big boy.
at 5'11.
Oh wow, he's so thick
That's
it makes him look shorter.
that's a
That's a
like a
big back.
normal that's a normal like height and a thick
That's a
back.
big
That he's
back. Yeah.
he's our AJ Dillon now, which is kind of nuts because he's better than AJ, obviously. Um,
Is he fast?
yeah, watch some. So last year he sat out because he got tagged. He wanted a new deal. He came in. He
Hmm.
wasn't as good last year.
But he
He
led
came
the
in out of
league in
shape.
rushing the year before,
2 years
right?
ago.
Yeah,
Watch those highlights. He
he's
took one to
good.
the house against the Chiefs this year down the
Okay.
sideline.
And
Um,
he's younger, right?
yeah, he's 26,
Oh,
27.
fuck yeah.
So
And he's been in the
there's
league for like 4 years.
yep. So this was he was a
Second
top
is his
draft
second
pick.
deal.
It's his true second deal, but it's his third because of the tag. But
Sure.
yes.
Cool.
Um, so there's a
4 years,
theme.
right?
4 years, 48 million, so 12 a year, what we would have paid Jones. So you're literally flopping for younger. The first year is fully guaranteed. The last three is not.
Yeah. So we'll
So he
see
gets
how it
12
works. And then
million.
if
If it doesn't
it's
work, gone,
nice.
which is totally fine with me. It's sad to see Jones go. Sad, even worse to see that in the Viking uniform.
Oh,
I,
I know.
oh God,
But
so sad.
would you rather? I saw a lot of like Dallas Cowboy connections. I'm like,
No,
fuck, I
hell
don't.
no.
He goes off in
I'd
that
rather
stadium.
have.
It's
I
like
know.
I'd
I'd
rather
rather.
see him in a
Could you
purple than
imagine just
fucking
like
different
40
blues.
touchdowns season, Aaron Jones, because he scores like four
Oh my
touchdowns a game
God.
every day.
I mean, he's from that area, so it makes sense. I'm sure he was like, oh, I would totally play for them. And
He
Mike
was like,
McCarthy. Wait, he never did he play with Mike?
yep, Mike
Yeah,
would
so he
play him.
knows
That was
Mike.
the whole portion. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, then he'd be forced
Fucking
to.
asshole.
But
Um,
yeah, I'd much rather see him twice a year and just deal with it than see him in the fucking cowboy uniform.
Rick, we know him too, so maybe we got some insight.
Hmm.
He was liking some stuff on Twitter and Instagram today, talking about how we don't treat players like we're loyal, great locker room guys, and you just throw them into the dumpster. He was liking stuff like that,
He's
which,
just he's salty.
but yeah, I mean, and like
It's a
dad was like
business, man.
it is, and that's my point. His dad was like he took $1 million to go play for a team that won't compete. Like $1 million is $1 million. I don't care what you say. He's probably gonna be gone in 2 years, right? Like he's a running back. Like
Right.
he's getting hurt already. He's got to get all his money he can get. You got to provide for your family for the next
So
generate. Like
he
he wants to do
he how much is he
generations.
getting at in Minnesota?
7, and
For
that's the
1 year,
big
right?
correct, and that's the big controversies because we were going to pay him 12, and we asked him for a 50% pay cut, which would have been 6 a year, and he
Yeah.
got 7.
So
So
you won't yeah, okay. So
he
you
picked up an
take
extra mil,
a a mil less but get to play for a team that's in the
and
playoffs
the
and
team
on
you've been
up and up
with.
and a
Yes,
place that you know and love, or you go somewhere else for 1 more million and God knows what happens.
that's the question, and I get both sides. I
Yeah,
again
do
will
what you got to do,
s
man.
spout to the players like teams never hold their end of the bargain, so why should you? That's
If
all I'm saying.
Aspen, if Aspen, or let's see, if Dental Associates said, Mason, I will pay all your student loans and give you $1 million to come work at a corporate dental office.
You think about it,
I
right?
I would think about it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. You just have to put it in your own terms, right? People look
Yeah,
at, well, he was
it
making
sucks.
6 million, but like
But $1 million
that's
to me is, that's a big deal. So that's like multiple millions to these guys, you
yeah.
know? So I don't
And
know.
I get it.
Maybe
I get
I'd
it.
think about it a little more because 1 million, yeah.
Correct.
I
But
mean,
I
but
get it
it's
though.
worth
Think
a
about it.
thought, you know?
What if you had a boss and he was like, "Hey Mason, we need you to take a pay cut this year so we can bring in another doctor." Hey Mason, pay cut again this year, another doctor.
Yeah.
And then this
You
year
get
they go,
half.
"Mason,
You
we
take
need another
half of what
pay cut."
you
He's
made
taken
last
two
year, like,
already. He's taken two already. And then they're like, "Can you take a
and
third,
he's like,
Mason?"
I'm a lot of your production.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, I've taken too many fucking pay cuts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with this. I get it. It's sad though. End of an era.
But
There's only
you have two different driving forces. You have players who want money, and you have um team, like corporate office, that wants to win. And a lot of that overlaps. Corporate guys want to pay their guys so they can win. Like players want to
that's
make their money, but they also want to win.
yes.
So there's overlap. It's a Venn diagram, but the
That's
true
why
motive is money because it's their job. I mean, you have to,
correct.
it's your
But
job. And then
but
the
that's
true motive
why
is to be successful so you can make more money. So in a roundabout way, it's money too, but there's only one way to make money, and it's to be successful.
correct. That's why the Tom Brady's and the Patrick Mahomes who can kind of merge both when they're the bridge to the players, and like, hey, I took a little less, or hey, I'm trying to do a slightly team friendly deal.
Didn't Pat make fucking $500 million in his? He has 500 million on his contract.
Yeah, that's a team friendly deal. I hope you realize that.
Because it's like 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, he just came to the table last year and said, "Give me more money to make 60 million." He was making 40 million while Kirk was making and Russell Wilson was making 50. That's team friendly.
I
That's what
guess
it is.
technically, yeah.
Now he's
I
at the top of the
I'm only
market.
making 40 million.
And
But I guess
I mean,
if
think
you
about that. Like, I don't
yeah,
want to start naming names.
if
There's
you show
someone
me
that I knew was
another dentist
making
in the area
way
who's
more.
making a
Yeah.
shit ton of money, and I'm
And
like,
you saw his work and you're like, what the
he's
fuck is
making
that?
this is what
Yeah.
I want more money.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
I get it.
So like, and that's the thing. When you get that bridge, that's when stuff happens. We cut Campbell, Devondre. Kind of saw that
Smart.
coming.
Yep, he's getting old. Not the same as that first year we had him.
No, he had one
Too
good
much
year and it
money.
just
Too
went
much
down to
money.
shit. Yeah, we
Yeah.
paid it. Bakhtiari's gone. Salute to you, Bach. We knew that
Love
was
you.
coming.
Dinner for
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that was like how are you gonna get that? But yep, expect him to be on the Jets.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Runyon left to the Giants, and Savage went to the
Jacksonville.
Jaguars. So good. Don't give a shit about that. Fuck them. They were
We
good for a
signed
team, but
Xavier.
Xavier McKinney out of the clouds. I was like
That
so
was like,
hyped for that one.
I'm like, we signed a running back, like a guy I know, a running back in free agency. wild. We signed another guy in free agency. I'm
Yeah.
like, when's the last time we signed two guys in free agency? I
Preston
know this
Smith,
sounds
Zadarius
crazy
Smith.
because every other team fucking does this, but this is the Packers we're talking about. We build through the draft. We build through the draft. We never get anyone. We get Charles Woodson. We get Reggie White. That's it. Not
There's
to
20.
diminish those. Those are huge pickups. But like it has to be that caliber of a player for us to go and get them. That's my point I'm trying to make. We don't get
It's
guys
huge.
just to
No,
pad the team. We get
I
guys that
literally,
change the team, and it happens once a decade. So this was wild for me. This is
it
crazy.
is, it is wild. And I saw a meme before once this all started. It was like, Brian, I'm in on every conversation, Gutenkust, but never actually make a move. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
he was just sitting there smirking. I'm like, yes, that's him. Like, I can't wait to be dicked around all day today. But the
Yeah.
last time I ever got like, I woke up 2019, fucking Regent's dorm. My phone's just going off. I'm like, what the fuck? Zadarius Smith signed. Preston Smith signed. Adrian Amos signed. I was
Yeah,
like,
I guess
holy
we did do a
shit.
so this is all Gutekunst, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we
He
have
actually
money
tries. When we have money,
and
he spends
we
it.
have a lot of holes, he'll put it in.
Yeah.
Xavier McKinney, the difference though is Xavier McKinney was like the top rated safety in man-to-man coverage, free safety last year.
Good. And our
Our
new D
D
coordinator
coordinator
loves
loves
man.
it. Yes.
Mm,
Xavier McKinney's 26 years old or
love it.
25 years old. So
Love
that's the
that.
other meme. Have you seen that meme? It's like
No.
Brian Gutekunst and Leonardo
Yeah, I was gonna
DiCaprio, and
say, does that have anything to do with Leo?
it's like,
Because
what
it's
do these two
25 and
guys have
under.
in common? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, anyone older than under 30, we're not for. And Leo's like, try 25 or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, oh my
30.
God. Yeah.
Try
He's like,
25, baby.
yeah, it's great.
That's awesome.
I thought it was a great sign.
I've never seen
We
him. I have no idea who that is, but I'm trusting that he's good.
Yeah, he played for the Giants. I mean, it's kind of tough to look at off the Giants, but he was
Yeah.
from Bama. I so he was
That's a
a
good sign. Yeah.
yeah, athletic guy. We
Haha.
re-signed
Haha was our last
Nixon.
Bama
I
one, and he was
know
good for
that
a little bit. He was good for a little
gave me
bit.
a little, oh
But
God,
then it took a nosedive.
correct. We re-signed Nixon this afternoon,
Hmm
18 for three. He's pretty decent in the slot.
Yeah,
Good
he's more of
ret
the returning. That's what
Yeah,
that's for. He's just like Allie
he's
was like, "Oh, we
explosive.
signed him." And I'm like, "Yeah, but
He's
he needs to learn how to fucking hold on to the ball."
yeah, that he
He
made that huge
fumbled too
play, but
many
then he
times,
fumbled,
and
and I
it's
was
like,
like,
"Oh
ah.
my God!" Like
He
now I'm
reminds
at the
I
point where I'm
bet
like
you
holding my breath every time he takes the ball out.
him and Jair are besties. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. They just seem
Yeah,
like that kind of dude.
I could see it.
Um, Jonathan Owens signed with the
Yeah,
Bears today,
good
so
fucking riddance.
by Simone Biles. He didn't play too bad, I'll be honest with you, but
He
he
had a
wasn't
lot of
like
games where I'm
good
like,
level.
this motherfucker. And he wears
Yeah.
like the Nelly band-aid on his cheek or whatever. I don't know if he actually had a cut there, but it was on for multiple games. I'm like, what cut do you have on your fucking face? Unless Simone Biles is roundhouse kicking you in the face because you're not being a good husband. I don't know. But also, Simone Biles, do you see what she said? I don't have to, thank God, I don't have to catch a connecting flight to go see my husband now because he's in Chicago. Because,
She said that.
yeah,
Nice.
like, get the fuck out of here.
I know we're a
You're
small town. I'm sure I saw that she said she
good
um
riddance.
enjoyed her time in Green Bay and
Well,
loved
yeah,
it,
how
but
could you not?
happened to be
Best football
Chicago. But
town in the fucking country. But
yeah,
your
I
husband
mean,
sucks at football.
I'm not really sad about it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, we haven't done anything else. Like we haven't done anything, but it's a pretty
No, we're
exciting
setting
day.
ourselves up because now it's just the draft. I feel like
Yep.
everything's starting to cool down now. All the
Yep.
big
There'll
ones are pretty
be
much done already because you got to get those
next,
done right away. And then now you know what you're working with. Now you know what you have like a
yep.
month to prepare for the draft.
There might be a
So,
couple. Now you wait, because we still have like, who's our middle linebacker? Quay and McDuffie.
yeah, so we'll have
Eh,
to draft a linebacker or
we'll
go
have
get
to draft
somebody.
one, but now is the time when like, if you didn't get signed in these first 3 days, like by tomorrow, it your value goes like to the and this is when the
That's when you
good
can pick
teams
up
start to
the
creep in and
diamonds
they
in the
go,
rough.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Chiefs are like, oh, play for us, oh, play
Yeah.
for us, and you start getting all these guys for 1 year deals, and
Yeah.
that's when that happens. So that's we might grab someone there.
Yeah.
Other than that, Brian Burns got traded to the Giants. He got paid. He was on the Panthers. He was tagged. They declined. This is dysfunction. This is why you don't want to get drafted by the Panthers. They declined two firsts, a second, and a fifth 2 years ago from the Rams, and instead accepted this year a second and a fifth from the Giants.
Oh my God. You just gotta hit, you just have to hit restart, like rebrand, different colors, different logo, different,
I feel
move the
bad for
fucking
Bryce
team. Go
Young.
to South
I
Carolina for fuck's
He
sake.
looks
It's
like a child on the team, and his
Jesus.
owner acts like a child. It's horrible.
You
They're
have to
just a shit
literally
show.
move. It's the Carolina Panthers, so you could technically move to South Carolina, and you probably should. Just get
Cam
out of there.
Newton, can we
Jeez.
like respect Cam Newton and what he did for that team? Because like ever since he
MVP
went downhill, they
brought him
went.
to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If
What's
he
some more?
dives on a fumble, who
Also,
knows?
quick side note there. That happened. He got jumped by like six people and took them all on. Did you see that?
No, Cam Newton did?
You didn't see that a couple weeks ago?
That rings a bell, but I
Oh
didn't
my
know if it was a
God.
real deal or what.
Mason, look that shit up. He's got his hat on, right? And he's at like an event.
With his
And these
fucking
guys,
hair sticking out of it?
yeah, okay. So he gets in there and there's like five guys come at him at once. He
Why?
handled them all of
Why?
them.
Why?
I
Was it
I have no idea.
beef or did he say something to
I don't know. People talk to him
incite
weird.
this
Like
violence?
you see kids like talk shit to him all the time and whatever, but they can't
Yeah.
watch the video. It's 250 Cam
Also,
Newton just
yeah, why are
whoa,
you attacking
whoa,
a
whoa.
256
His hat didn't even
stud and a
fall
half?
off. He's getting rocked and he's throwing dudes. And I was like, that's why Cam Newton's a freak. What are we
Yeah.
doing? It's nuts.
Yeah,
Like
jeez.
it's five like black dudes on one dude and he took them. He handled them.
That's
I was like, oh, try
he's
tackling
still the
that
real
middle
deal.
linebacker
Physically the
coming
real deal.
down. Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine being in college when he was at Auburn? You're like, what the fuck is this? I have to
Yeah.
tackle this? Like,
This is a
Jesus.
defensive end who can throw the fucking
Plays
ball.
quarterback
What is
and he's
this?
running me over.
Shit.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyways,
We got, I
um,
think, two other big ones. One maybe more than the other. Saquon to the Eagles.
that was huge. So let's talk about that. I mean, him, Swift to the Bears, Pollard to the Titans, Eckler to the Commanders. If this doesn't scream this draft class sucks at running back, I
Yeah.
don't know what else does because all these running backs come off the board. You think Saquon's going to be the biggest one though?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
I agree
that
with
offense
that
on
offense.
paper, oh my God.
Swift was
Stacked.
good. Swift was
Swift was
good,
good, but
he's not.
Saquon, he's not getting drafted first overall in fantasy or second overall in fantasy. There's a reason Saquon is. He's a fucking beast.
Well, Saquon
If
was the
he's
second pick in the draft.
if
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
healthy, I mean, oh my God. And
this will
if
be the
the
first
Eagles can
time.
figure their shit out because we don't know what happened.
No.
But I mean, their weapons on offense, oh my God.
Well, this will be the
That's
first
awesome.
time he's ever played on a team where
That's
teams
like,
didn't plan for him
right.
and he has holes. He'll go, "Oh, I didn't get touched for 5 yards. What the fuck?" And then
It's a McCaffrey thing.
yeah, and then he'll look around and go, "Am I the best weapon on the team? Because AJ Brown's kind of scary, and
Yeah.
oh God, Smith's kind of good. Like it's gonna be a whirlwind for
It's
him. I'm not.
McCaffrey to the Niners. It's the same shit.
It is.
They have a shit ton of weapons, and he's just now another one.
If they
And
can figure
it's a
out their
competitive
scheme,
team. It's like, damn, you get an offensive coordinator that knows what they're doing, or is
yeah.
Sirianni an offensive guy?
He's an offense guy. They got
Yeah.
Kellen Moore
You
as their
figure,
OC from Dallas. He went to the
yeah, maybe
Chargers. They
let him
got him.
fucking call plays. Jesus Christ.
So and then they had Vic Fangio came in for their D coordinator now. So like and they picked up Bryce Huff from the Jets, who seemed pretty good on the edge. I don't know.
Yeah.
They need to fix more on the defense, but that was a good pickup. Swift to the Bears is whatever. Eckler is like the slowest running back on the planet Earth now. So
Make or Derrick Henry to the Ravens.
Derrick Henry to the Ravens today was interesting. I don't
Their run, like their run offense, it's gonna be
I
amazing.
know I'm confused. I thought we were like throwing, 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 and now we're like, yeah,
Yeah,
fuck it. We're just and
we're
then
just
what
committing to the run game.
even though we don't
Lamar.
run in the championship game, God forbid we do that, but now let's go back to the run. Like I don't
That
fucking get that
I
at
think I
all.
said it before, but that's Russell Wilson throwing a pick at the 1 yard line. Shit, it's we're gonna prove everyone. We want Russell to be the
Yes.
guy to throw it.
Let's make Lamar the
We want
hero.
Lamar to be the hero and throw it and prove everyone wrong that he's not a running back who plays quarterback.
Well,
Stick to your fucking strengths, you idiots.
did you see the video of Odell on the sideline during that game going up to Lamar and saying like, "We need you to run. Like when
No,
you
never
run,
saw that.
special shit happens." And both of them kind of look at each other and kind of shake their heads. And the comment was like, "Why does this make me feel like there was a preordained order of we need to throw the ball?"
Yeah.
Which makes me think they, like you were saying, like, let's throw, we can beat them, make Lamar look like I beat Mahomes.
hmm
I don't know. Speaking of Russell, what do we think of Russell to the
I was just gonna
Steelers?
say Russell to the Steelers. I think
Yeah.
it's hilarious that the Steelers are paying him 1 million and then the fucking Broncos are paying him like
Broncos.
38.
Fucking Sean.
Oh my God.
Why would you
That's
take that job? I don't know.
oh my God. That's a shit show too, right there.
It is.
Denver.
Yeah.
Um, Elway was a much better player than he is. Uh,
He's gone too though. Like
he's not the CEO or whatever anymore.
no, they kicked him out of ops when the new owners came in. But
Oh, okay.
Sean Payton, his ego was like, I can fix Russell Wilson. It's like, oh, really? Because he came in
No.
there that Lions game and he lost it on him on the sidelines. He's like, this, stop kissing fucking babies and fucking do the play call. Like, what the fuck? Your office is bigger than mine. He was just
Yeah.
losing it on the guy. It's
I think
great.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
think
mind
the Steelers
Russell to
got
the
to the fucking
Steelers.
playoffs with Kenny Pickett.
So they signed Patrick Queen too. So like, I don't
Yeah.
know if he's gonna
The
be good or
Steelers, I
not.
mean,
That defense
you
is
watch out.
scary.
Their defense is good. You get Russ, who's still probably, I mean, he kind of picked it up a little bit in last year
He's
with a
not.
shit team. He's not
Yeah,
done.
he's.
But you get George Pickens. I mean, Najee Harris is slow as fuck, but maybe
You get
you
the other
draft
one.
another running back,
Yeah,
um, and another tight
the
end or
Muth,
wideout or
the
something.
Muth. You got the Friar Muth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something. And then
Deontay Johnson.
I forgot who it was, Dan Orlovsky, I think. He's like, you don't think that if they got where they did last year, you don't think they'd be a little bit better with Russ as
I
quarterback?
do.
Like, you're
I'm
crazy if you
just
don't think they'd be
he
better.
he.
Kenny
When did
Pickett,
he?
what was his stats last year? Like 8 touchdowns?
Well, they went through Pickett, Rudolph, and fucking Trubisky and made it there.
Yeah.
That's
I saw a
horrible.
stat. It was like Kenny Pickens would have his stats would have been last in like
Pickett.
1984
Yeah, he sucks.
or 1884 or I don't know, something like not
What's the
1884.
rule?
In 84 and they only played 10 games back then. He still would have been last.
If
Like
any
Jesus.
player wears gloves on
Not
both
him,
hands,
man.
get out.
Yeah.
He grew up though in a let's play defense, throw
hmm
some moon balls to the sideline to big athletic wide receivers, make a few plays, run the ball,
Yeah.
and
Fake
just
slide
win
here and
some
there and
games,
then go.
right?
Yeah.
That's what the Steelers are. And
And
If he doesn't work with Mike Tomlin, he's out of the league.
he
Like it's
can't
just
work
done.
anywhere. Yeah. But I
Yes,
could I mean, I have that much faith in Mike Tomlin though. He's that good.
I do
So
too.
I'm interested to see that.
And a
That's
tough division too.
it
Like that's
is.
a fuck show.
But Bengals aren't getting any better right now. For some
Which that
reason, ever since the Super Bowl, they like the next year they're like they didn't get any better. And now Burrow's hurt.
they
Now
were
they're
right. They
losing
were right
everybody. It's like
there,
they're just not getting any better. They're
which is
still at their
it's
fucking hangover.
it's not good though because that means the Chiefs' reign is just gonna go forever because that's the one team that can beat them.
Well, the Bills need to fucking do something.
That's not happening. We all know that.
They're,
Fucking they let Gabe Davis go, but that's fine. Oh man. Other than that though, that's pretty much it. Darnell
yeah,
Mooney
those are the
went to
big
the
ones.
Falcons. There's some trade that happened for Dante Jackson that I don't really You know who that is?
No.
Right. Gardner Johnson signed with the Eagles again. So he went from the Eagles to the Lions, now back to the Eagles.
Jameis went to the Browns.
Yep, good old Jabbo is in Cleveland, you know. So we got Jabbo
So he's gonna
and
back up Deshaun, and then when Deshaun gets hurt which is inevitable, he's just gonna squint and throw 30 picks.
correct. That's great. Makes it look like that Flacco's not coming back, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess.
Interesting, but that's pretty much it for free agency on the big moves.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, I think we're good. No?
Yeah. I don't think we need to talk NBA quite yet. We'll wait on
No,
that.
I think next week we'll do any additional moves that happen, if anything big. If not, we'll jump into because it's Selection Sunday, this upcoming
Selection
Sunday.
Sunday is Sunday the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day,
Yep. So we'll
Slancha,
we'll do
and
a
yeah, we'll like
March Madness type
pre
ish thing. Yeah.
pre-tournament March Madness thing, and then the week after we can do okay, how's your bracket doing type of shit.
Yeah. And we'll do a little we can talk a little NBA here or there during that. But
Yeah, it'll be
other
starting to pick up
that,
again too.
yep, other than that, it's
I don't have
good.
I don't think I have any uniforms right now, so we'll
No.
press pause
That's
on those. We only have the AFC East left, I think. So
all right.
eventually we'll get back into that. Yeah, cool. That was
Okay.
fun.
Yep.
Good to be
Glad to be
back.
back. Peace. Love you. Bye.
RFK Rogers 2024.
Yeah, baby.
There it is right there. That's
Fucking
the
clown.
that's the fucking thumbnail. All right, buddy boy. I'll see you this weekend.
All right. See ya.
Bye.